Now hold on. I know you clicked on this video, and I know you're probably ready to go into the comments and be all angry and upset because you don't like Pokemon Let's Go, and it's a bad game, but it isn't even out yet. How do you know it's not a good game? And after you listen to my video, maybe your perspective will change a little bit. But at least I hope I can change your perspective a little. So this is why Pokemon Let's Go is such an important game and why it is coming at such an important time, not just in gaming, but in my life specifically. Welcome back to the YouTube journey, guys. It's me. I'm still alive. Remember when I said I was going to make daily videos? But I'm back. I don't know, I just felt really compelled to make a video, and especially about this. So what I wanted to talk about was the fact that I've just seen so much hate for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. And the game doesn't even come out until the end of November. But more specifically, I don't think people understand the premise. I think they understand that the game is being marketed more towards people who are new to the series. But I think that they're so upset that it's not the Pokemon classic RPG that everybody's been looking forward to for the Switch, and they're just angry that it's not as hardcore as they want it to be. But in this video, I hope that I can at least convince you or show you that not only is this a really important game, but that it's really important to me, and maybe that'll help you to put into perspective why you should give it a chance too. A lot of people played Pokemon Go when it first came out. More people than we've ever had playing Pokemon in years, and I mean literally since like 97, 98, when the card game and the show were like huge, you know what I mean? So now we have this huge amount of people who played Pokemon Go, who watched the anime as a kid back in the 90s, who played the card game as a kid. We have all these people, kids and adults, who got hooked in with Pokemon Go. And now they're thinking to themselves, well, Pokemon itself is a little convoluted and complicated. It honestly is. There's so many Pokemon now, like this many. Like, that's a lot of Pokemon. Like, no, that's too many. You know? But for somebody who's played Pokemon Go and knows the original 151, it might be a little easier to hop into a game that's a Kanto remake, just because it's what everyone grew up on. Also, I really don't like the hat at the moment. Maybe I'll change my mind halfway through the video. I don't know. But the hat is, maybe I'll just put it on like a regular human being. Yeah, that's the kind of level I've gotten to of how vain I am. I'm switching my hat partway through a video. I didn't even wear my Pokemon hat or Pokemon shirt. I really did not dress accordingly. I'm sorry. But I got the Pokeball, and that's pretty cool at least, right? No? Okay, well, that almost hit my cat. Sorry, squirrel. Now he's interested in it. But, as I was attempting to say, these games are at a time where interest is high. Higher than it's been in a long time. Because, I mean, if you were interested in Pokemon, you would have hopped in, you know, if you had enough of an inkling. But now there's all this extra interest that was never there. So we have all of these people who played Pokemon Go, and Pokemon Go has a very simple battle system where it's just tapping and swiping, like, or holding down. You know, nothing complicated or crazy. Then you want to introduce people to that slightly, but not to a point where we're overwhelming them with how incredibly complicated Pokemon has gotten over the years. Because it has. There's all these types, there's all this, it's a lot. It's a lot. So we have all of this, and now what we can do is introduce them with Let's Go. And not only is Let's Go on the Switch, which is like one of the best systems, period. It's just so cool. But we just have this huge base of people who own a Switch who maybe haven't even played Pokemon before. Because I know a lot of people got a Switch after not playing Nintendo games or any games for a really long time because of the ease of being able to pick it up for 10 minutes when you're on break or when you're going to and from work on a bus or something, because you can just pull your Switch out and play a console game on the go. And it's just created this new revolution of being able to bring your console games with you. And there's so many other companies supporting the Switch. I could make a whole video about how much I love the concept just alone of the Switch. But that's a video for another day. So we have all these people, right? All these people who could be playing Pokemon Let's Go. And now they make this game that's simple, easy for people who are longtime fans but haven't played a game maybe since Red and Blue. So it's familiar but new. And that will easily pull in those old-time fans. And all these kids who the only Pokemon game they've ever played is Pokemon Go. So they don't know about all the battle systems and everything and how it all works. But if they play Let's Go, it's a more complex version of what Pokemon Go had going for it. And it's a really good way to get people into it slowly. And it is simple. It is simplified. There aren't abilities. There's, I get it. I get that it's not the complicated classic Pokemon game that you're used to. I get it. I love that. Believe me. I get that it's different. And different isn't always good, especially with Pokemon. Pokemon has been very much the same. I mean, things have changed, new types have been added, but Pokemon has always been Pokemon. It's never changed, it's never gone overly outside of its comfort zone. Even like Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, like, those are really as far from Pokemon as we got. Even like the Pokemon Ranger games, like, that's as far as we've gone. It's never been overly outside the box. If the next Pokemon RPG was an open world Pokemon game, it would be crazy outside the box. And honestly, when I think about an open world Pokemon game, it's a little overwhelming to me. Just 100% based on the fact that open world games overwhelm me a little, because it's a lot they give to you at once. It's like, okay, here's everything. Here you go. And I'm like, whoa, like, that's a lot. That's a lot to give me. I like my story-based little chunks and, progressing slow. Like, I like the progression thing. And an open world Pokemon game is overwhelming and scary, but it's besides the point. Just simplifying it to make it more accessible doesn't mean that you have to think it's the worst and call it garbage before you've even played it. That's not even... I mean, people say that Gen 5 is their least favorite gen because there were no past gen Pokemon in it, but it's personally my favorite gen of Pokemon besides Gen 2. Gen 5 and 2 are my faves. Black and White were so much fun to play because no matter what, I was always finding new Pokemon. They might have announced maybe, 15 or 20 of the Pokemon that were in the game, and there were 150 new Pokemon in that game, but I'm definitely going way off tangent. So now, to put this into perspective for you guys, why Pokemon Let's Go is so crucial to my life at this exact moment, and why it's come at like a perfect time for me. So I didn't even finish Pokemon Sun and Moon. I couldn't do it. I think I got up to like the 4th or 5th. I got to the 2nd island. Like that, I got there, and that was like as far as I played. And I think there's 4 or 5 islands in the game, so like I definitely didn't get very far. I felt like it was being overdone. I had just, replayed Pokemon Y a million times, which I loved. I forced myself to finish Omega Ruby, and as a remake of a game I loved as a kid, I don't know why it was so hard to get me to finish it, but I just couldn't do it. I felt burnt out. But I forced myself to finish it because it was a game that I had and I hadn't beaten. And I was like, well, I gotta finish it. So I did. I don't even think I made it through the Rayquaza special episode. Yeah, I called it Rayquaza. I pronounced it right, even though I don't like to. It just felt right in that moment. That's a tangent for another day. But and then Pokemon Sun and Moon came out, and I really had to push myself to even go very far in the game. It felt overdone. I felt just tired of it. It was a formula that I was getting sick of. And then Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out, I didn't even think about buying them. You'd have to pay me to actually get me to sit down and play like an hour of that game. I just couldn't get into it. I just felt so overdone. They were adding these mechanics that were like an attempt at changing the formula, but to me they just kind of fell flat and made me feel like they were trying to force stuff that I didn't even want. So I gave up. I didn't even finish the game. Even close to finishing it. I think I got my starter to its first evolution. Like, I didn't even, like, I couldn't force myself to. And I usually love new Pokemon games because there's so many new Pokemon to find. And I couldn't find myself caring. And that was really weird for me. And it felt wrong. Like, something was wrong with me. And honestly, up until recently, I thought there was something wrong. I thought that maybe things that have happened in the past year or so of my life and other thing, or not year or so, 2 years or so of my life, and just I thought it was all affecting me and really breaking me down and taking me away from what made me me. But it wasn't, because Pokemon Let's Go was announced. And I can't tell you how many times I watched that trailer in actual pure excitement. Theme music, the idea, all of it was simplified, different, but also the same. But it didn't feel forced. It felt like a good progression from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Let's Go. And as soon as I saw it, I was so excited because I thought to myself, this is it. This can be the game that reignites my love for Pokemon. I've loved Pokemon since before I could walk. I was told a story by my cousin, don't even know if it's true, that when I got home from the hospital in the carrier, they put me down and my cousin was there, and they put the carrier down in front of the TV and he was watching Pokemon. The first thing I ever watched was Pokemon. I don't know if that story is true. I always thought to believe it was, because my obsession with Pokemon goes like way deep. It's like a subconscious thing. But it felt unnatural to me that I wasn't excited for a new Pokemon game when Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were announced. And even when they came out, the day passed by. I used to count the days down for Pokemon releases to happen. I used to wait outside the stores. I used to have like a party with my friends where I'd like go to the store and buy like chips that were colored to the games that were coming out, and like stupid things like that that I thought were really fun and exciting because the Pokemon game was coming out. Like Black and White came out and I got like those blue, almost blackish looking tortilla chips and like potato chips, and like I was like super excited. I was just so excited that a new Pokemon game was coming out. And just, oh my god, it was too much for me. But I finally feel that excitement again. I can't wait for them to come out in November, right before my birthday. Heck yeah. So excited. I can't wait, honestly. It makes me proud to own things like this again. And for a really long time, I felt out of touch with myself. And I feel like I'm being pulled back in again, and I'm really happy about that. And another really awesome thing is my girlfriend is a little bit older than I am. In case you didn't know. I don't think you did. But not really important to this, but she didn't grow up with Pokemon, but she knows Pokemon through me. She knows Pikachu. She knows some other ones, whichever ones I have down here. Aipom, Chikorita. Some of my favorites, the ones I show her and talk about. Because I can't help talking about Pokemon sometimes. Even if I have been a little off my game. Can't help being excited about some of the Pokemon I love. I've been showing them to her, and she has an interest in Pokemon, but definitely she's not as much of a person who would sit down and play a Pokemon game. I wouldn't be able to be like, here's my DS, let's play Heart Gold and Soul Silver together. Let's play, I have like a bunch of Game Boys over here, like 4 of them, 5 of them. So I could be like, oh, let's play Red and Blue together, or Gold and Silver, or Ruby and Sapphire, or, you know, Fire Red and Leaf Green. Like, I couldn't just get her to play one of those. It's just, I think, a little bit outside of her zone. But now with Let's Go, I can get her to play with me, because if I'm playing and I say, hey, you want to play with me, I just hand her a Joy-Con, and boop, the second player pops into the game, and she can play with me. And either way, I'm going to be playing on the TV, so she can watch and really get immersed in a baseline idea of what a Pokemon game is. I can introduce my girlfriend, who has really no experience with Pokemon, to the games in a really accessible way. So not only is this a great way to introduce the new young generation of Pokemon trainers, I'm going to be cheesy and call them that because it's what they are, to the series, but I can also bridge the gap between people who were just a little too old to play it and bring them in, and we can all meet in the middle. Everyone should at least, even if they don't want to play this game, it's too simple, it's not complicated enough, it's too kiddie, it's too whatever. Listen, I got made fun of all through school for liking Pokemon because it was for children, it was a kid's game, and everyone was busy playing Call of Duty and Fallout or whatever else. I have no hate against those series, but I liked Pokemon. Pokemon Black and White came out when I was in middle school. I was in 6th grade, I think, or 7th, I don't remember. But I remember when those games came out, I was jaw-dropped. I played those games non-stop until I beat them, and then all my friends and I were like in the cafeteria after school like, oh my god, did you see this Pokemon? Well, you can catch that? It was the coolest thing. And it was just so exciting for me. And I just want it again. I want that feeling of excitement and Pokemon with friends. Because friends are what makes the journey better with Pokemon. I know some games are just made to be multiplayer. Fortnite, Splatoon, like those are games that are multiplayer games primarily. I mean, Splatoon has single player, sure, whatever. But Pokemon is a game that's great on its own, but your experience is only enhanced not by playing with other friends, but just by interacting with other people. And that's something that not every game has. That just interacting with other people furthers your experience, opens you up to new friends, new horizons, new who knows what. And it's really special to me. Pokemon is just such a big part of my life. And I couldn't see my life without it. I wouldn't be who I am today without standing up for my love of Pokemon back in middle school and getting beat up and getting picked on and getting made fun of. Because it wouldn't make me the Chris that you see before you. You don't have to like it. But I think you at least have to appreciate the gaps that this game is going to bridge. And hopefully, when that Pokemon mainline RPG game comes out in 2019, well, we can all meet each other at Victory Road and see who will be the real Pokemon champion. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Starnari. You can call me Chris.